Everyone. So Bitcoin's in a massive bull market right now. Over the last week or so, it has gone from the high 60,000s to now the high 80,000s. So a $20,000 increase in the price of Bitcoin per coin over the last week. So here's my thoughts on it. One, this is what a Bitcoin bull market feels like. This is why I've done everything in my power over the last 7 months, begging and pleading and cajoling and encouraging you to buy as much Bitcoin as possible so that when this hit, you'd have as much as possible. That's kind of the point. Now, obviously, I didn't know exactly when it would hit. I didn't know how long it would take. It's impossible to know, the specific details. All I knew was that it was coming, and that when it came, a bunch of people would wish that they had bought way more Bitcoin before it came. Now, the truth is, most people are, going to buy more Bitcoin now that the price is rising, because as the price of an asset goes up, a person's conviction in that asset goes up. Now, the best way to invest is to do lots of research and study on an asset so that your conviction is high when the price is low. But that's hard to do, and it requires a bunch of time and all that sort of stuff. So generally, people use the price as the conviction. So as the price goes higher, their conviction grows and they buy more, which is also great. Never a bad time to buy Bitcoin. But that's where we are. So this is what the start of a Bitcoin bull market feels like. You get these radical, upswings. Especially two of the last, 5 to 7 days, especially just had like, I don't know, eight or $5,000+ price increases in a single day. Anyway, that's what a Bitcoin bull market, bull meaning up, meaning optimistic, a bull market feels like. So here's my feedback on some specifics. One, is now still a good time to buy Bitcoin? Yes, it's never a bad time to buy Bitcoin. I've been saying it's a good time to buy Bitcoin since it was below $17,000. So yes, it is still a good time to buy Bitcoin. It's never going to be a bad time to buy Bitcoin. Second, does it feel like we've peaked in this bull run? No, not at all. Normally, when it feels like this right now, you have about another 9 months to a year of bull market left. Meaning, we'll hopefully get into the hundreds of thousands of dollars per Bitcoin before the end of this bull market. Now, along the way, there will be pullbacks. Nobody can predict. In the 2017 bull run, I think there was 8 consecutive weeks of up market price increases before a significant pullback. In 2020 and 2021, I can't remember. And some of the bull markets has been as short as a week. Others has been as short as 8 weeks, or as long as 8 weeks. But if somebody said, "Okay, there's going to be a big price correction of 20 or 30%, when's it going to happen?" I would say, I don't know. Could happen anytime. Could not happen anytime. That's what investing is. Investing is uncertainty. It's having the courage and conviction to hold an asset when you don't know if it's going up or down the very next second or the next hour or the next day or the next year or the next minute or whatever. That's what investing is. All investing is like that. It's just, the roller coaster is sort of turned up to 11, on Bitcoin, as opposed to the roller coaster tends to be, more of a, small kid ride for most things. So is now still a good time to buy more Bitcoin? Yes. Could it go down before it goes back up again? Yes, that's always the case. And should you buy anything other than Bitcoin? No. Everything else is worthless, in my opinion, and is trending towards zero, or at least is a massive venture capital bet, which Bitcoin is not. So I would buy zero Shiba Inu, zero Dogecoin, zero XRP, zero Ethereum, zero Solana. I would not buy any of that stuff. I would buy 100% Bitcoin no matter what. And you're going to see somebody's going to show you that, oh, but Bitcoin went up 20%, this other thing went up 40%. Well, look, sometimes when the water rises, the trash bobs up first. That doesn't mean it's not trash, but you're always going to get that. When waters come through and raise all boats, you're also going to get a bunch of trash floating around that's not worth owning and not worth buying. And most of what's in crypto is trash that is not worth owning and not worth buying. And Bitcoin is the primary standout. There could be a couple other things, but nobody is sure at this stage what else in crypto is worth owning other than Bitcoin. The certainty is Bitcoin. Everything else has a massive massive amount of risk. So if something else looks like it's going up, twice as fast as Bitcoin, well, guess what? That's today. Tomorrow it could be down 5 times as much as Bitcoin. Everything else is trending towards zero compared to Bitcoin. So don't end up on the wrong side of that. Um, hey, let me see other thoughts. So yeah, this is what a Bitcoin bull market feels like. It feels great. It's like every time you check the price, it's set a new all-time high. And, we'll do that for some series of days or weeks, or maybe we just did that this past week and then we're going to get a price correction. Nobody knows. But the important thing is I think we've got months ahead of us that are like this. I think well into 2025, the earliest that anybody's expecting any significant pullback is in the fourth quarter of 2025, or certainly the second half of 2025. So if you're thinking, I don't want to buy Bitcoin because it might be at the top, I would say there's not really, I don't think personally there's a risk that we're at the top at all right now. Now, once we get to summer of 2025, people are depending on the price. I'll start to let you know, which is why I record these videos. I'll let you know if it feels like it's getting a little crazy. People are getting a little too optimistic, a little too frothy, a little too crazy. It doesn't feel that way right now. For example, we are hitting these huge prices today, and zero new countries have announced that they're buying Bitcoin. Right? I mean, El Salvador is buying Bitcoin, but we already knew that. Bhutan is mining Bitcoin. We already knew that. Those have been the case for a long time now. So there's no new information that indicates, there's a massive new buyer that we did not know about in nation states. To our knowledge, there are no big companies buying Bitcoin right now. There are no central banks buying Bitcoin right now. So there's no way to know for sure, like, why is the price way up other than, you know, like everything, a bunch of people concluded at about the same time that Donald Trump's victory in the election guaranteed a favorable regulatory environment with cryptocurrency, meaning Elizabeth Warren and people like her are not going to be, creating a problem in the near term, or at least for the next 4 years. And, by that time, Bitcoin's going to be the world standard, to some degree 4 years from now anyway. So it's not like the people who oppose Bitcoin are going to be able to do much after the next 4 years anyway. So, the whole world sort of concluded sort of at the same time that, we were in a very favorable regulatory environment for Bitcoin. Therefore, there was, the risk associated with owning Bitcoin was lower than it's ever been in history. So people started buying. And as a result of people buying, the people who were selling stopped selling, because why would you sell if the price is rising? So they stopped selling and more buyers start buying. And, it keeps going and going and going. And, a bunch of people have texted me today and are like, hey, I bought Bitcoin back when you said to buy Bitcoin, but I didn't really buy as much as I should have bought. I'm going to buy some more. It's like, that's what happens. You get a bunch of people doing that all over the world, and the price goes up. And that's what's happening exactly right now. So, in summary, is still a good time to buy Bitcoin? Yes, in my opinion. This is not financial advice, not tax advice, not accounting advice, not any sort of advice. It feels like now is still a great time to buy Bitcoin. It feels like we've got at least quite a few months ahead of this sort of euphoric upside, hopefully getting us, north of at least $200,000 per coin, ideally higher. I mean, who knows? Nobody knows, but hopefully we'll get into the hundreds of thousands of dollars per Bitcoin before there's a significant price pullback. And when there is a significant price pullback, I think it'll be to a price that's much higher than today's price. Meaning, if somebody said, well, should I wait and buy Bitcoin summer of next year if there's a price crash? I would say no, because by then it may run up to $300,000 and then the price crashes to $150,000 and you could have bought it right now for 87. So why not buy it now for 87,000, 88,000 instead of wait for the next price crash, which the low might be 140 or 150,000. Additionally, you don't know when the price is going to crash and you don't know how low it's going to go, which means if you're trying to time the bottom, you're going to miss it. If you're trying to time the top, you're going to miss it. So don't even try to do that. So I think same thing I've always said. Now is a great time to buy. Avoid all the meme coins, avoid all the trash, buy only Bitcoin. Coinbase continues to be the best place to buy Bitcoin. If you got questions, send them my way. I'm trying to cover as much as I can. And, everything I've been working toward the last 7 or 8 months, or really since the beginning of this year, or actually even November and December of last year, let's call it the last 12 months. Everything I've been doing for the last 12 months has been trying to get you as much Bitcoin as possible before the huge price rises. I'm just doing my best, pulling out all the stops, doing everything in my power to try to get you as much Bitcoin as you can possibly get before the price just goes bananas. And it feels like we're entering the banana zone. And obviously, the more Bitcoin you own in the banana zone, the more fun it is because your net worth and your assets go way up. And in my case, since I buy everything with the Coinbase debit card, everything's radically on sale. Everything I buy is, well, it's for free because of the Bitcoin going up faster than than I've talked about. I'm living for free right now. But even in terms of like just purely like what does something cost compared to the Bitcoin I bought before I stuck it in the Bitcoin in my Coinbase debit card, I mean everything's like radically off. I mean like discounted, as in I'm buying everything. It feels like the whole world's on sale right now. So if you want to feel like the whole world is on sale, hold Bitcoin rather than the US dollar and buy stuff when your Bitcoin is appreciated with Bitcoin instead of the US dollar, and you can live life at a pretty radical discount. So keep the questions coming. Happy to answer them. Hopefully, my goal here is to be your Sherpa and your guide to the top of Mount Everest and down the other side and whatever, or back down to base camp, whatever. So I'll try to give you real-time commentary as the price goes crazy and tell you where I think we are in the cycle, what I think is going to happen next, how it feels, if anything feels wrong. I will try to give you a play-by-play on all of that just because I've been through this before. So keep your questions coming. Text me, call me, message me. The good questions that I think a lot of people have, I will do Facebook Live videos about. And the items that are more one-offs, I'll just reply to your message. But let me know. I am here to answer anything you could possibly have. So let me know. I'm here to serve. Thanks, everyone.